10 vintage pickup trucks that are now worth a fortune. If you thought your 401k was your best investment, wait until you see what these workhorses are worth today. From hauling hay to hauling gold bars. Metaphorically speaking, of course, these pickup trucks have come a long way since they first rolled off the assembly line. Since 1925, when some genius decided that cars needed a cargo bed, probably after one too many trips with furniture strapped to the roof, pickup trucks have been the backbone of American roads. The Toyota Hilux and Ford F-150 might be today's champions, but their ancestors? They're the ones causing bidding wars at auctions that would make Wall Street brokers sweat. We're about to dive into 10 vintage pickup trucks that have appreciated more than your mother-in-law's antique china collection. Using Hagerty's valuation tools, because someone needs to keep track of this madness, we'll show you why these classics are worth mortgaging your house for. Let's dive in. 10. 1981 Jeep CJ 8 Scrambler, $44,000. When Ronald Reagan was in office doing more than just watching TV reruns, he actually owned one of these beauties. The 1981 Jeep CJ 8 Scrambler was what happened when Jeep decided to make a pickup truck that could climb mountains and turn heads simultaneously. Under the hood, you got AMC's 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine pushing out 82 horses, about what your riding lawnmower dreams of having. But for those who needed more oomph, there was an optional six-cylinder that bumped it up to 115 horsepower. Despite having presidential street cred and looking cooler than your dad's leather jacket, sales were surprisingly low. Today, however, this underappreciated gem will set you back $44,000, about what you spent on your kid's first semester of college. 9. 1978 Dodge Lil Red Express, $45,900. Remember when finding loopholes in emission regulations was considered an art form? Meet the masterpiece. The Dodge Lil Red Express wasn't just a truck. It was a statement piece with exhaust stacks that would make a semi-truck jealous. Every single one came in canyon red. Because subtlety was so not 1978. Packing a 5.9-liter V8 engine with 225 horsepower and 290 lb-ft of torque, this beauty was actually the fastest domestic vehicle to hit 100 miles per hour in 1978. Yes, you read that right. A pickup truck was smoking sports cars while looking like it just escaped from a truck stop calendar. Today, a pristine example costs $45,900, which is probably less than what you've spent on your current truck's electronics repairs. 8. 1959 Ford F-100, $47,900. Back when infotainment meant a working AM radio and a clear view of the road, Ford was crafting these beauties. The 1959 F-100 got a facelift that included a hood with Ford lettering so bold you could read it from space, or at least from your driveway. The interior was basic. Imagine that, a truck interior you could actually clean with a garden hose. The base model came with a 223 cubic inch straight-six engine pushing 139 horses, but for those who needed more grunt, Ford offered two V8 options. Today, a pristine 59 F-100 will cost you $47,900, about what you'd spend on a modern truck's option packages. 7. 1960 Chevrolet El Camino, $51,900. The El Camino was Chevrolet's answer to the question nobody asked. What if we made a car that can't decide whether it's a sedan or a truck? But boy, did they nail the identity crisis. For 1960, they kept the structure but improved the rigidity, because nothing says, I make my own rules, like a car-truck hybrid that actually works. With its rubberized floor mat, fancy, and leather-padded bench seats, it was practically a luxury vehicle by 1960 standards. The four-barrel 283 cubic inch V8 could churn out 230 horses, enough to haul your pride and a decent amount of cargo. Today, this automotive mullet, business in the front, party in the back, commands $51,900, with some examples selling for up to $176,000. That's enough to make your financial advisor need a financial advisor. 6. 1991 GMC Cyclone, $58,200. If the El Camino was the mullet of trucks, the Cyclone was the rocket scientist wearing motorcycle leathers. This wasn't just a muscle truck, it was the first of its kind. Under the hood lurked a 4.6-liter V6 that could embarrass sports cars with 280 horsepower and 350 lb-ft of torque. This hot rod in truck's clothing could hit 60 miles per hour in 4.3 seconds. Faster than most modern sedans and probably faster than your teenager can ask for money. Want one today? That'll be $58,200. Please. About what you'd spend on a year's worth of your kids' extracurricular activities. 5. 1995 Ford F-150 SVT Lightning, $59,700. Ford saw what GMC did with the Cyclone and said, "Hold my beer." The result was the SVT Lightning, a truck that could tow your boat and then race it to the lake. With its 5.8-liter Windsor V8 pushing 240 horses and 340 lb-ft of torque, it was proof that Ford's engineers had a sense of humor and access to really big engines. Only 2,280 units were made in 1995, making them rarer than a teenager without a smartphone. Today, one in top condition will set you back $59,700. But hey, at least you won't need to explain to it how to use the TV remote. 4. 1949 Dodge Power Wagon, $66,700. Built like a tank because it basically was one, the Power Wagon was what happened when military vehicles came home from war and decided to get civilian jobs. This truck didn't just have presence. It had enough presence to make a Sherman tank feel inadequate. Originally designed for military use, Dodge realized civilians might enjoy having their own personal war machine for grocery runs and weekend projects. Today, a pristine example costs $66,700, probably less than what you've spent on home renovation projects that were supposed to be quick and simple. 3. 1979 Jeep J10 Honcho, $82,700. The Honcho wasn't just a truck. It was a fashion statement with a cargo bed. Available in 3 trims, the Honcho package came with more add-ons than your cable TV subscription. Levi's denim interior, because why not? Gold-striped fenders, and a blue sporty steering wheel that screamed 1979. Powered by AMC's massive 401 cubic inch 6.6-liter engine producing around 330 horses and 430 lb-ft of torque. This beast could climb mountains while looking cooler than your high school leather jacket. Today, it'll cost you $82,700, or about what you spent on your last family vacation. 2. 1972 Ford Bronco, $85,400. Before it became famous for all the wrong reasons in the 90s, the Bronco was the cool kid of the off-road world. The 1972 model was the last year of the pickup trim, featuring a 302 cubic inch V8 that made 139 horsepower, modest by today's standards. But back then it was enough to make you king of the trail. With standard 4x4, it could tackle terrain that would make modern crossovers cry for their mama. Want one today? That'll be $85,400, or about what you've spent trying to maintain your forever home. 1. 1957 Chevrolet 3100, $99,000. When Channing Tatum drives one of these in movies, you know it's not just another pretty truck. The 57 Chevy 3100 got curves in all the right places, with an open front grille and fenders that would make an Art Deco architect jealous. Under the hood, a small block V8 provided enough grunt to handle whatever the 1950s could throw at it. Today, a top-condition example costs $99,000, which is probably less than what you've spent on your kids' education, but at least this investment won't move back home after graduation. Remember, these prices are for pristine examples, the kind that make car show judges weak in the knees. If you're thinking of investing, just remember, unlike your stock portfolio, at least you can take these beauties for a spin on Sunday afternoons. Just don't tell your financial advisor.